The Tszyu boxing family has experienced incredible growth in recent years and could become one of the most respected names in the boxing world. Leading this dynasty is Tszyu, the undisputed world champion in the welterweight division and one of the most successful fighters in the history of Russia. Following in his father's footsteps, Konstantin's sons are also forging their own paths. The eldest son, Tszyu, is a 28-year-old boxer who closely resembles his father. He was born in Australia and is better known in his homeland as Tim. Tim is constantly under the scrutiny of the press and fans. He boxes in a heavier weight class than his father. He began his professional career in 2016 at the age of 22 in the middleweight division. On October 22, 2017, Tim had his first title fight, in which he already had a series of 6 victories, 5 of which were knockouts. The fight was for the WBC Asian Boxing Council Continental Super Welterweight title, and his opponent was the experienced Wade Ryan. Despite being knocked down in the first round for the first time in his career, Tszyu managed to turn the tide of the fight and win by a unanimous decision after 10 rounds. In August 2020, Tim faced former world champion Jeff Horn, who had a victory over Manny Pacquiao on his resume. The fight against Horn gave Tim valuable experience. Horn fought quite dirty, but Tim handled the challenge well. And after Horn was knocked down twice, the fight was stopped in the 8th round, with Tim winning by TKO. In November 2021, Tim defeated Japanese boxer Takeshi Inoue. After that, Tim decided to try his luck in the United States. He faced the highly experienced boxer Terrell Gooch, who had long arms and a powerful punch. In the first round, Tszyu was knocked down. It was a good test for Tim as a fighter. However, Tszyu was determined not to lose and started winning round after round from the middle of the fight. It's worth mentioning that Tim has excellent physical endurance. He continued to move forward and threw a significant number of punches. While these punches were not knockout blows, they were accurate and allowed him to confidently win each round and even send Gooch to the canvas. As a result, Tim added another victory to his record. In March 2023, the dangerous American fighter Tony Harrison arrived in Australia to fight Tim. Initially, Tim was supposed to have a different opponent, but he withdrew from the fight, and Tim, not wanting to take a break, decided to face an incredibly dangerous opponent. It was a very brave decision for Tszyu. Harrison was attacking well in the beginning of the fight, but Tim was able to respond well. The Australian rushed for the finish but couldn't succeed. Tony managed to avoid being knocked down through experience, although he lost the 3rd round. After the break, the American tried to slow down the pace of the fight, but Tim still found weaknesses in Harrison's defense. Tim started beating Harrison, who was hanging on the ropes, landing bombs from both sides until he ended up on the canvas. Although Tony managed to get up, the referee decided to stop the fight. Timofey's technical knockout victory in the 9th round against such a caliber opponent made him a truly intriguing fighter in the world of boxing, and he confidently stepped out of his father's shadow, paving his own path to the top. Now it's time to compare Tim with his legendary father. Let's start with anthropometry. Tim is 4 centimeters taller and it has a much longer reach with 183 centimeters compared to 170 centimeters. The father fought his entire career in the light welterweight division, while the son started in the middleweight division and now competes in the super middleweight division. The father had an excellent amateur career, being a participant in the 1988 Seoul Olympics and a 3-time European champion and world champion in the 1991 in Sydney. The son's amateur career is much more modest. Both the son and the father are left-handed and they have similar techniques. They even move around the ring in the same style. The father's first championship fight was the 14th professional fight of his career, while Tim's championship fight will be his 24th. And now it's time for the younger son, 25-year-old Nikita Tszyu. At first glance, he may seem less similar to his father, but that's only because of his hair and eye color, as he inherited his mother's light hair. Unlike Tim, Nikita has a decent amateur career under his belt. He's won the Youth Championship of Australia multiple times and made his professional debut in 2022. He immediately established himself as a bright boxer, winning his first professional bout by knockout in the 2nd round against Aaron Stahl. In his second fight, Nikita looked much more confident, completely dominating his opponent, undefeated Australian Mason Smith in the first round. After defeating Smith, on May 11th, Nikita stepped into the ring again on July 20th against Ben Horn. The fight went the full distance and Tszyu secured a unanimous decision victory from the judges. In his 4th fight, Nikita scored a TKO victory in the 3rd round against Darkan Drayden. In his 5th fight, Nikita faced Australian Bo Bleben, who, like Nikita, was undefeated in the time of the fight. However, Nikita confidently secured a TKO victory in the 4th round. Nikita continues to remain undefeated and shows progress from fight to fight. It is worth noting that Nikita's stylishness stands out among the other Tszyu. If the father and Tim represent examples of highly technical boxers, Nikita relies on his punching power and his fights are more exciting. Currently, the Tszyu brothers have a combined record of 27 wins and no losses. I wish both fighters vibrant and thrilling matches.